Welcome back to the King Film Sports Week 12 college football betting locks and predictions. And let's get right into it with a recap of last week. We had a mildly successful week, won half a unit. So let's get right into it where we had Michigan, Penn State. We had Penn State plus 5.5, and that lock just did not hit for us. Penn State unable to keep it close. It was a close game, but Penn State scores late and then can't capitalize on late opportunities. Couldn't keep it close. Michigan was able to run all over them. Penn State did not get it done there. And Alabama, Kentucky, our free lock of the week, just gets run over. Bama was legit in that game. Kentucky got a little unlucky with the turnover luck, but Bama just steamrolls them there. Bad pick there. And then Texas Tech, Kansas. Texas Tech wins that one outright. Great game there, but we didn't have a betting lock on it. Then Miami at Florida State. Florida State escapes late. We had Florida State winning. Wasn't sure about a play on that one. Miami does cover for those of you involved, but we didn't have anything. Ball State plus 10.5. That hit on the weeknight for us. And then Utah at Washington. This one was a horrible beat. Washington gets a pick six, drops it before the end zone, and then they don't score there. And then a brutal blocked field goal that really never even made it over the line. Not sure what happened there. And then Washington forces a stop on Utah. It is a 7-point game that will not cover the spread for us. Luckily, Missouri was able to win by a boatload against Tennessee. Missouri seems to be legit there. Moving on, we had UCF against Oklahoma State. Again, another blowout winner. We had Iowa against Rutgers. That was not a play, but just a game prediction, and Iowa does win there. Georgia against Ole Miss. Georgia wins by a boatload there, so a lot of these locks won by a lot. UNC against Duke got some great closing line value here. UNC was up by 12 plus for a lot of the game here. Duke makes a late comeback. UNC ends up winning in double overtime. That's not enough for the lock to cover. Then TCU, a late comeback, covers the 13. LSU beats Florida behind a great Daniels game. He might have put himself back in the Heisman race. He probably can't win it, but maybe he got himself to New York with that performance. San Jose State plus 100 money line. They closed out minus 2.5 against Fresno. That's an easy winner there. Wyoming unable to win at UNLV. They got crushed, quite frankly. UNLV definitely impressed me with that win. Then USC at Oregon. Oregon wins there but does not cover. Sneaky close game there. So here is the betting lock summary. We are plus 13.5 units on the year. And here's the picks that we sent out to the Discord. Be sure to click on that link in the top right if you want to join the Discord. All of our picks in NCAA football, and we also have NFL picks that are going quite well, and also NCAA men's basketball that has just started this last week. So let's get right into it with the Week 12 betting locks. We've got Utah at Arizona first. I think this one will be very close. Utah coming off the bounce back against an Arizona team that has been very good down the stretch here. Arizona probably will be better ranked. I think Utah could win this, but I'm going to favor Arizona barely at home here. They've been much better since the quarterback change. I like Arizona to win that one. Then Maryland against Michigan. Maryland at home. I like them to keep it close for a while, but I think Michigan will be able to run all over them. Remember that Penn State was able to run all over Maryland, and then Michigan just beat Penn State on the road. We'll see what happens. The Terps are not putting as much fight at home as I would like to see. J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum, and folks, I like them to get it done there. Then big one in the American. 8-2 versus 8-2. This is probably for a chance in the championship. And SMU is a 7.5-point favorite in this one. A little bit of a head scratcher, but I'll have to go with it. Go Ponies. I like them to win in the Liberty Bowl here against Memphis. SMU has had that high-flying offense. I think this one will feature a lot of points scored. I think SMU will be able to win that one, though. Then we've got Louisville at Miami. I actually like Miami to win outright. Louisville's looked very up and down, to say the least, over the past few weeks. Miami may have lost their new starting QB. They're back to Van Dyke, it appears, after a broken arm injury. But Louisville has just looked way too up and down for me. I think they're due for a loss. Miami's due for a win after they got unlucky a little bit at Florida State. They're looking at the bounce back, and a lot of people are questioning Cristobal right now. I like Miami to respond in a big way at Hard Rock. This is definitely Louisville's hardest game on the schedule. Can Miami knock them out of the playoff for good? We'll see here. I like Miami to get it done there. Then Oklahoma at BYU. This one's early in the mountains. I like BYU to get it done. Oklahoma hasn't necessarily convinced me this far in the season that they can get it done on the road. The one thing that I don't love here is the early start time, but I do like BYU to win. This one will definitely be close, and it will take some luck for BYU to win. I just have a feeling about this one. I like BYU to win that one outright. Oklahoma has been less than convincing, but same thing with BYU, just got blown up by Iowa State at home in a late afternoon/night game. So maybe that doesn't matter anyways. Could have been a look-ahead game to this one against Oklahoma. I like BYU to win that one. And then Duke against Virginia. This spread is surprisingly close. Duke has fallen off the wagon. The wheels have fallen off. Could Mike Elko be going somewhere else to coach? Only time will tell on that front. But Virginia played Louisville really close last week in a sneaky game there. I like Louisville to respond and win this one outright. We'll see what happens. Before we move on to the second page, I want to emphasize to everyone to like and subscribe to the channel. Only about 10% of you guys are subscribed. Let's get into the second page where we have our free lock of the week. First, UCLA against USC crosstown rivalry. UCLA, disappointing loss against ASU, takes them completely out of the picture of even being ranked. Same thing with USC, kept it close against Oregon. They won't be ranked next week. Maybe if they can win this game. Both teams have 4 losses. UCLA has 2 games more. USC only 1. Big rivalry game. I like USC and Caleb Williams to get it done. UCLA, elite defense, but there is no offense. I think this should be an interesting game just to see what UCLA can do on offense against a terrible USC defense. I think USC will just outscore them and win. They're favored by about 5.5. I like them to win that one there. We have North Carolina against Clemson. Guess what the spread is on this one, guys? It is Clemson -7. I like Clemson to win there. Clemson is the better team here. They've gotten a little unlucky, if anything, in their games. North Carolina just got lucky against Duke. They didn't dominate that game for most of the game, but a double overtime win against a reeling Duke team is not all that convincing. I don't like them to go on the road after a big win and beat this Clemson team that is fighting for everything right now. I like Clemson to win that one outright. Then probably for the Mountain West Championship here, we've got UNLV against Air Force. Air Force suffered a horrifying loss to Hawaii. Now they've lost 2 straight after an 8-0 start. UNLV got a convincing one against Wyoming, but I think the altitude and everything will be too much here for Air Force. I like them to respond in a big way and a win there. We've got Washington against Oregon State. I like Oregon State to win this. I wish game day would have gone to this game. It would have been an electrifying environment. Oregon State's last year in the Pac-12. They've got a chip on their shoulder after Washington is abandoning them. I like Oregon State to win outright. These fans are crazy. Washington's offense hasn't necessarily been what it was, but their defense has really been bad. I like Oregon State run it all over Washington's defense. Give me DJU and the boys to win there outright. I'm calling for the upset. Then Florida at Missouri. I like Missouri to win this one. Not too much to say there. Florida's defense has been horrifying this season. The only reason that LSU game was a shootout is because LSU doesn't have much of a defense either. Kind of the USC archetype there, or Washington for that matter. Not much defense. I like Missouri to score all over Florida. That should be a good game. Maybe Florida can score a couple points, but Missouri's at home, so I like them to win there. Then Tennessee against Georgia. This is our lock of the week. I like Tennessee +10. I actually like them to beat the Dogs outright. It's about time. Maybe send them to the SEC Championship with 1 loss. Either way, the SEC champion should be in. Unless it's a 1-loss Bama and everyone else wins out. Check out our playoff predictions in the top right for those scenarios. But I like Tennessee to win here. Coming off the bounce back after a horrifying loss to Missouri. Georgia coming off a big win against Ole Miss. Georgia won't make many mistakes, as we've seen. They're a great team, very talented. I don't even know if Tennessee will be ranked for this one, but I like Tennessee to win. Their ground game can get it done, and these fans will be up and at 'em for this game after last year. Georgia pretty much torched Tennessee's playoff chances before they really got torched against the Gamecocks, and I like Tennessee to win outright. Give me Milton and the boys to move it there and beat the Bulldogs, but I like Tennessee +10 if it comes to that too. Then Sunflower Showdown. I like Kansas to win. I'm really not sure who to pick in this game, but Kansas State is on the road. Kansas State is definitely the better team on a neutral site, but I like Kansas to respond from the loss in a big way. Maybe that was a look-ahead spot. We'll see. Will Jalen Daniels be back? We'll see in that regard as well. Not really sure who to take here, but I'll take Kansas on the bounce back. They are definitely a team that is looking like they're out of it, and Kansas State is looking a lot better, but I'll take Kansas here. at home. The fans should be there for this one in a big way, and we'll see what happens there. Then Texas at Iowa State. I'm actually going to take Iowa State outright. This is a very bold prediction. Iowa State coming off a blow-up against BYU. We had TCU outright last week. That did not hit, but I like Iowa State to make it a sneaky close game. Maybe win it. I mean, obviously, Texas is probably going to win 90% of the time, but I really like Iowa State to keep it close there. They are a sneaky good team, and we'll see what happens. Please comment your predictions below and like and subscribe to the channel for more content.